Welcome everyone, with you teacher Ines Fathi from Modern Educational International School. Today inshallah we will start a new grammar lesson. It's an interesting lesson, and in the same time it's a confusing grammar structure in English lesson. Okay, so we have to focus from the beginning to cover all the points of this lesson, and inshallah finally it will be so easy for you all. Let's start learning active voice and passive voice. First of all, we will learn what is the meaning of active voice, what's the meaning of passive voice, and what is the structure of both of them, and how can we convert active voice to passive voice. Okay? First of all, we have to remember the structure of the active voice sentence and the passive voice sentence. The active voice sentence starts with subject, then action or verb, and finally the object. Okay, so the structure is SVO, and this is the regular structure. Passive voice is object plus action and finally the subject. This is the passive voice. We will start with object, then helping verb to be, third conjugation, and finally the subject. Okay, let's see the example that we have. Mayank repaired my car. Okay, so here Mayank is the subject, okay, the doer of the action. Also we have repaired is the action. My car is the object or the receiver of the action. We will change it to be passive voice, so we will start by the object, that is my car, and we will finalize by Mayank. Okay, and in the middle or in the place of the verb we will use verb to be in the past tense was, then we will add repaired. You will ask me, teacher, how we will do that. This is our lesson today. How can we convert action or active voice to passive voice? Okay, this is our problem today. Okay, how to convert active voice to passive voice. We have 5 steps to do that. First of all, we have to identify subject, verb, and object of the active voice sentence. The subject, the object, the verb. Then we have to swap subject with object and object with subject. We will convert verb to be third conjugation of the verb, and we will add verb to be before, and if we want to end our sentence by using the subject, we will add by before it. So the structure of the passive voice will be object, helping verb, third conjugation of the verb, and finally adding prepositional by and s. While changing subject, which is a pronoun, to object, as we know that subject pronoun, I will be me, he will be him, she will be her, we will be us, and they will be them. Okay, and now adding a proper helping verb to be before main verb is a base in our structure today. Okay, so let's see here verb write as an example, and we will start the simple present tense in the active voice, write or writes. If we change it to passive voice, we have to use verb to be, is or am or are, then we add the third conjugation of the verb, it's written. If we have present continuous tense, we have is or am or are also. We will add ing to the verb. It will be writing. And in the passive voice, we will change verb to be being, and before it is am, are. And finally also we will finalize by third conjugation. In present perfect, the same idea. We have written. It will be have been written. Simple past, we have wrote is the past tense of write. We will change verb to be was or were according to the subject, and we will write the third conjugation of write, that is written. In the past continuous tense, we have was or were writing. We will change it to be was or were being written. Past perfect, here also we have had written. We will change verb to be had been written. Let's see also the coming, that is simple future. We will use will with the base form, and in the second part we will use will be written. And finally we will use future perfect. That means we will use will have written, and finally we will use will have been written. Okay? Yeah. Now, let's see that we have 4 tenses. We will not use them in the passive voice, that are, first of all, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future continuous, and the future perfect continuous. They are not included in our rule today. Okay? So they are out. Now let's see examples for each tense from the tenses that we start before. Simple present tense. We have the active voice is he writes a letter. We have here the subject is he. The action is writes, or the verb. And the object is a letter. Step 2, we will swap between subject and object, swap them together. So we will start with the object. Then we will write the subject in the place of object. So we will change he to be him, as I told you before. The third step, that we will convert the verb right to the third conjugation. It will be written. Then we will change verb to be according to the tense of the sentence. It will be is. And finally, we will add by before the object, that is by. It will be by him. So the sentence will be a letter is written by him. This is the passive form. Now let's see the coming present continuous tense. Yeah, Javed is making a cake. Now we will identify the subject, that is Javed. The verb is making. Then the object, a cake. Step 2, we will swap subject with object. Yeah, we will start with cake, then Javed will be at the end. Number 3, we will convert the verb is making to be third conjugation. It will be made. We will change verb to be according to the tense. It will be is being. And finally, we will add by before Javed. So it will be a cake is being made by Javed. This is the passive voice of Javed is making a cake. Present perfect tense, also we have here an example, that is I have eaten a burger. First we have to identify the subject, the verb and object. The first step. I is subject, eaten or have eaten is the verb, a burger is the object. The second step, we will swap. It will be a burger at the beginning, I will be me at the end. Then we will convert the verb to the third conjugation, it will be eaten. And we will use verb to be according to the tense, has been, adding by last step. So it will be a burger has been eaten by me. Now, simple past tense. He bought a car. He is the subject. Bought is the verb. A car is the object. We will swap now. So we will start with a car. Then we will change he to be him. Third conjugation of the verb will be bought. We will use verb to be according to the tense. It will be was. And finally we will use by. So it will be a car was bought by him. This is the passive voice also. Past continuous tense. Sarah was singing a song. The subject here is Sarah. The verb is was singing. The object is a song. We will swap subject with object. So we will start with a song. Sarah will be at the end instead of the object. And we will change the verb to the third conjugation. It will be sung. Verb to be according to the tense will be was being. And we will use by before Sarah. So it will be a song was being sung by Sarah. Yeah. Past perfect tense. Jay had finished homework. Yeah. Jay is subject. Have finished is verb. Homework is the object. We will swap subject with object. So we will start with homework. We will finalize with J. We will change finished to the third conjugation. It will be finished as it is. We will also conjugate verb to be had been. We will add by, and the sentence will be homework had been finished by J. Okay, this is the passive voice of the sentence. And we have also simple future tense. She will accept the offer. She is the subject. Will accept is the verb. The offer is the object. So also as we swap, we will start with the offer. Then we finalize with her because we must conjugate her to she to be her. Then we will write the third conjugation of accepted will be accepted. Change verb to be will be. And don't forget to add by before her. So it will be the offer will be accepted by her. And this is the passive voice. The last example today is the future perfect tense. Our sentence is I will have charged the battery. Here we have subject I. Charged is the verb. The battery is the object. We will start with the object as we swap. So we will start with the battery. I will change to be me. We finalize by it. We will keep charged as it is because it's the third conjugation already. And we will use verb to be, will have been, as the tense is future perfect tense. Don't forget to add by before me. So the sentence will be the battery will have been charged by me. Again, this is the table that we talked before as the whole forms of the tenses. Okay. And don't forget also the steps of changing the active voice to passive voice. Step 1, to identify subject, object, and verb. Step 2 is to swap subject to object. Okay. Step 3, to convert the verb to the third conjugation of it. Step 4, to add verb to be before the main verb, and it must take the same tense of the verb in the active voice. Step 5 is to add preposition by before the subject. Thank you. Hoping you understand our lesson today. Bye.